What is going on, my people? Welcome back to the channel for another album review. I'm your boy Nasim the Dream. If you're new to the channel, just go right on ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the bell as well to always keep notified on my newest content. And today, I will be reviewing the new Health record, DISCO4 Part 2. This is a brand new album from California noise industrial metal band Health, marking their 8th project to add to their discography, and this is being their sequel to their Disco series. The band features 3 total members participating into the band's creations, names of BJ Miller on drums, John Faglamenti on bass, pedals, and electronic instrumentals, and Jake Dusick on vocals and guitar. Like with this new LP, Part 1 actually brands off a numerous amount of variety with the current years of the best and most popular artists in that alternative universe. Acts like JPEG Mafia, 100 Gags, Ghostmane, Choo Choo, and even Soccer Mommy rub their dynamics onto this record. This record also showing the wide range view of what the band really comes off with their influences and what they really play in their spare time. So getting to know this band with the singles that have been released before this new LP, I was thrown off to see how diverse the band is with their influences branching off with a totally different aspect of things that go into their creations. The best thing about that is that they usually choose artists they incorporate into their records who I find to be the most elite in the music nowadays. And I guess in current basics to really understand what this means to me, the sleepers in music. The intro track Dead Flowers features an alternative metal singer-songwriter, one of the best new names that comes to the genre, Poppy. Poppy and Jake are seen on this track trading off verse to verse onto this track as it progresses more into the noise and layering and with their appearances, and even with a great recording of Poppy shearing a scream onto the bridge. Then we got new industrial meeting old industrial onto the song Isn't Everyone with revolutionary band of the late 90s and early 2000s rock band 9 Inch Nails. Though I will admit I felt like the hook could have been a lot better on this one, maybe a little bit more aggression or just some thrill or even some slightly alternative touches to the songwriting. But I guess that's just me being a little bit nitpicky. Overall, I really think the song is pretty decent. One of the singles features off the record Cold Blood featuring death metal band Lamb of God. Off of my initial listen, I was a bit in the neutral zone for the track. After giving this song more time to sink in, it comes off as a pretty kick-ass tune. The riffs are so sick. The contrast between Jake and Randy Blythe is great. I'm loving the eerie and sinister presence onto the entire song. We see some things twist about with some synth pop onto the track The Joy of SECT with hardcore band Street Sex. Another track that I found to be a hidden gem onto the track list has to come from Still Breathing featuring alternative indie artist Eek Stacy. The fusion built on this song goes on with some industrial goth tones with the encompassing atmospheres luring the darkness into the background. So noting my favorites, yes, there's a handful of cuts on here that I did really like and I am really enjoying to this day, but it really is hard to shadow over some of the duds that appear onto the list. Off the entertainment perspective, the song Ad 1000 just starts off with a pretty dead vibe. Musicality wise, it gains a little bit more artistic body to it at the end when it comes to these horns and guitars onto the outro, but altogether it just builds into this mess. Deathcore makes a team up with rap metal in the song Murder Death Kill. For this track, the performances go a long way, but the chunk of this track's potential is just really held back by the song's instrumental. For me, it just sounds way too one-dimensional to its creative spectrum on here. The song Identity envisions this nightclub rave scene and works with Matt Vale. Based off the arrangements and the writing for this song, it really seems like it was mainly intended to be an extension for the next track, Cold Blood. I kind of mainly just based off that with the abrupt ending, but either way, if you're gonna transition it like this, I don't know, I really feel like something more creative could have been done on here. Then the band brings on Backwash and Ho 9909 onto the song Gonish Flesh Mortal Hell, which I think altogether on this track perform very fantastically onto this. Probably one of the best performances onto the record, but the mix on some of these passages just brings so much disinterest to me during my experience of the song. It kind of comes in patches here and there when I get my grasp onto the things that I really like about the song, and then I just immediately lose it. There's also some indie pop appearing onto the song No Escape with indie rock band The Neighborhood, which is probably the most gentle track onto the song that feels less industrial, more easygoing with pop music. But at the same time, this track does really feel like a little too lazy and a little bit too simple. A trait that I really appreciate for this record is just how well they really use their metallic sounds on here. It really feels in that image of something that feels just so bloody, gory, horrific, based off maybe the album cover and how it's really predicted as their image. And then I will say, based off the band's incredible range of variance and variety, normally this kind of record would be my sweet spot to my taste, but it is just really hard to dissolve the flavor with all the flaws getting in the way of my critique. The arrangement is undoubtedly the biggest defect onto this record. Some of these songs are just straight up duds. Some of the fusions just don't really work so well in contrast with the rest of the album. But don't get me wrong, the tracks that I really like on this album, I really do like. I practically play Cold Blood and Dead Flowers at the gym every day, and I still play a couple other tracks loosely throughout the day. But it would have really really impress me if this album really went the distance with my expectations based off these favorites of mine. And unfortunately, it doesn't really do that. I'm gonna give House DISCO4 Part 2 a 57%. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed, go ahead and like, share, and comment down below. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, down in the description you'll see all my separate tracklist ratings for the album, more videos, and also the links to my social media accounts so you can keep up with me on the daily. I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Dose.